So, you've clicked on this video because there's a part of you, right, that knows that there's more. There's something more to access. So it's like, you're spiritual, yeah, and you're doing the work, and you're on your little journey, and you keep ending up, right, back in it, back in the loop. You might be telling yourself right now, I feel like I'm going backwards. I feel like I'm undoing the work. I feel like I'm lost in it. I want this episode to be clarity for you, but also to shift your perspective in something. To just look at things, look at life, look at your journey, look at what's happening in this loop from a different point of view. This topic, right, so you've seen the title and that's what's pulled you in. You might not know much about it. When I first started my celibacy journey, I didn't really know what it was, like what's the point in it. I'm going to go into it all. But it's about being open-minded. That's how I got into celibacy, like just staying open and trusting. It's quite like mad that I've never, like I do a lot of talking, I do a lot of videos, I do a lot of these. I feel like I'm gatekeeping a big, like, how do I say it? How do I put it into words? Like an answer to a lot of your prayers. This changed my life, girls. Like it did. It really did. And I'm not even being dramatic when I say that. When I really feel into it. And I'm hoping that I allow myself to go deep in this episode because there is resistance for me around talking about this, and I can't teach you what I want to teach you without going into personal parts of my life. That's where the resistance is. So I've set an intention that I will allow myself to go there, but I feel if you're watching this, it really is going to open you up to a new way of thinking. This is what I teach. Like, it actually is what I teach. It's never anything outside of you. And that's what celibacy has really allowed me to lean into. That feeling of accessing deeper parts of myself without outsourcing, without the mushroom ceremony, without the energy healer, without the investing into the coach. And do you know what I mean? Even though all of that is important on your journey, I love the work. I love it, and I teach it when it's nothing out there and it's just you with you. That's what celibacy has really done for me on my journey. Okay, so let's get into it because I feel like I've just talked enough. But if this episode isn't for you, you've already swiped, you're like, yeah, I'm not into this, and you've gone. So if you're still here, I promise you, what I'm about to talk about, it's going to help you. It's going to open you up, honestly. So stay with me. Just stay with me. Firstly, we need a story. We need a backstory. We need to know why I am the way that I am, how I got here, and where it began. Like, I didn't just wake up one morning and was like, oh yeah, spiritual girls are celibate, I'm going to do that. It wasn't that. In fact, it just happened. It just kind of happened. So what happened is what you're asking, isn't it? So I was in a relationship with somebody. How many years is that now? So that was 3, that was 1, that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I'm not that good at maths. 7 years ago, right? I was in a relationship with someone. A very toxic relationship. Woo! Very, very toxic. Anyway, it's all love for him now. But when that relationship came to an end, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go on this journey. I'm going to go on a journey of finding myself and rediscovering who I am and what I want in connection. And it was just that. It wasn't that deep. It was just like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to be around men or allow myself to date, or just, I'm not going to give anyone access to my energy until I feel better about myself. That's what it was. I just didn't feel good about myself. So I didn't use the term and label it as celibacy. I was just celibate. I was just like, no one's getting access to me. I want to focus on me. So I did. And that lasted 2 years. And then I was doing the work, but the work at the level that I was at back then. And then I was on a course. So that first, like, I'm just going to call it a round, because there's been like a few rounds of celibacy. So that first round of going celibate for 2 years, I really asked myself, like, what's standard of man? Like, am I going to go for that again, what I just experienced? And that's what that celibate journey was about for me. It was like, I need to up my standards here. I need to find what feels in alignment with me, instead of attracting men where we don't share the same values, we're not on the same journey, like we don't actually have anything in common. So then God was like, oh, okay, we'll see. So I went on this course, right? This is like the typical spiritual story of like love's young dream. Like, I went on an ayahuasca journey and I found the love of my life. It wasn't an ayahuasca journey, it was a 12-week course. And I met this person on there, right? And at this point, I'm still celibate. I'm celibate to the point that I'm not looking, I'm not dating, nothing. And he just came sort of out of nowhere. I didn't listen to my body at all. Not once. And if I'm completely in my truth, it was just like, it really was feeding me ego, this connection, because it was like, we all love a story, don't we? We all love a love story. This was the perfect love story. Like, meeting somebody, spending 12 weeks with that person, on a healing journey together, and then falling in love. Like, what a beautiful story to tell your grandkids. How nice is it to say, like, I married my husband and I met him on this 12... You know what I mean? The story was feeding me ego. However, there was absolutely no connection between us. There was nothing. You know what the connection was? We fancied one another. So there was sexual attraction. And we fancied each other. And that was it. We didn't actually have anything in common apart from the external stuff. So like the gym, running. We both done that course together, so we knew the same people and sort of we knew the same friendship groups, blah, blah, blah. But there was no depth. But do you know what's coming up for me right now that I need to share in case you feel this way? It was better than anything that I ever had. So, okay, it didn't tick me boxes. It didn't meet me needs. It wasn't what my heart was yearning for. It definitely didn't feel like God's plan for me, but it was the best that I'd ever had. Because in comparison to the men that I was aligning with before him, wow, I'd hit the fucking jackpot. And I told that story. And that's what kept me in it. So it's like we miss all of the red flags that are screaming at us. Screaming! We miss them. We don't look. I don't want to look at that. And we sort of rewrite them. And then we just settle. We just settle, and sometimes we can tell a story of, well, my best friend's boyfriend, he does this to her, and she's got this relationship, and what about that person? And we start compromising with ourselves of why not to leave. And it's just this disconnect, because I'm going to ask you a question. When you feel into the men that you've been with, that you've aligned with, by the way, do you really feel like there was ever it in the first place? So, like, I know that you cried, and I know that it hurt, and breakups do hurt, and this breakup really hurt me. And when you're in it, you can't see it for what it is. Like, when you're in that, you cannot see anything but the hurt and the pain. But if you was to get really honest with yourself from this version of who you are today, did that person even meet you? Like, could they meet you in your depth? Could they hold you? Like, I'll just say it, was they even deserving of you? Like, was they capable to hold what you was giving them? Was there what I call God's standard? Like, where you're like, God has brought this in. Was there that? So if you're struggling right now with a breakup, I feel like somebody is, really sit with what's real. Not the potential, not what you wanted, not what you wish it could be, not that perfect version of them who's healed and meets your needs and he's changed and he's this and he's that. No. What's real? The person that you're actually crying over. Be real about who he is, how he treated you in that relationship. Was he God's standard? And I feel like this is how I feel about breakups. Firstly, they're a fast track to your healing, but they really are an awakening of the feminine consciousness. Like, this is the ultimate journey of her, of the little girl. And this was a big one for me when I chose to go celibate again after this relationship ended, which is 3 years in July. So coming up 3 years, I've been celibate. I really sat with, once that relationship finished, I really sat with going on a journey of transitioning from the girl to the woman. Because, and that's what celibacy has done for me, like, it actually has. Like, when I feel back and I go back to that relationship, I was just a girl. We were both just 2 kids. We hadn't done the work. We went on a 12-week course and called it the work. It wasn't the work. It was like a visit to Disneyland, that work. It was. It's just meditating, a sweat lodge. Like, it wasn't the work, but we thought it was the work. It was like, oh, we've done the work, power couple. Oh, God bless us. But yeah, it's really about, like, I was able to be like, right, I need to heal that girl. Because that's what it was. I wasn't a woman. I wasn't a wife. I was immature. I wanted validation. I wanted attention. We played games. It was like constantly in and out, the runner and chaser dynamic. And I feel that we get stuck in that when that's all we know. So that familiarity of the attention, of the, well, if I pull back, I know you're going to chase me. Or like wanting the chaos and the drama. Like, we love the drama, don't we? We love the drama. We love a love story of drama. And we convince ourselves that this is it. And I knew when that relationship ended, I knew I need to rewrite this story. This can't be it. This can't be it. This can't be what I'm calling in. I can't enter my next relationship as the girl. I need to be a woman. That's what celibacy has done for me. I stopped calling in these boys. I pulled back my energy, and I really, really just self-focused, like self-devotion, devoted my whole entire life to me. To me, nothing out there. So celibacy is, because I think some of you get a little bit mixed up from conversations that I've had with you. Celibacy isn't just having sex. Just not having sex. That isn't what celibacy is. Celibacy is nothing. So it's like not seeking any male attention. So you go out with your friends and a man comes up to you, oh, do you want a drink? No, sorry, I'm not available. Instead of like wanting that energy, because that's an energetic leak. So it's not sitting in your DMs getting attention off men. It's not waiting for that good morning text, that good night text, like, because they're still feeding you. And when all of that, and when you're, when you're a woman, right, who's used to that attention from a man, who's used to constantly being validated, constantly told, oh, you're beautiful, constantly like, oh, how do you say it, like that, just that leaking energy from men, like when that's all you know, it kind of feeds your ego. And then celibacy takes you on a journey where you're like, I don't actually want that, to the point like it gives you the ick. You're no longer available for that now. It really allows that part of you to die. Not needing the validation, not needing the attention. Again, this is just the girl. This is just the girl in you, and it doesn't matter how old you are. I'm 30 odd years of age. It doesn't matter. That doesn't leave you until you do the inner work for it to leave. So even like putting pictures on Instagram to wind him up, to piss your ex off, to get attention, like all of that, do you understand? Celibacy for me was clearing all of that. And then it's a journey, because when you're not getting it and you're not being validated and you're not getting any attention from anyone, you're literally not even having a conversation with a boy, you start feeling feelings that you've not been able to access. And it really is a feeling, and it's a journey of you meeting those needs that you was outsourcing in men. It feels like you reclaim these parts of you that you just gave away. Like you give them away so easily, without meaning to. And it's not about judging yourself for it, but it's just about, like, you know what it is, girls? It's like, what journey do you want to go on? Like, what are you actually calling in? What's your standards? Like, how high is the bar? Because I thought that my bar was really high. I thought I had really high standards. And I came to realise in that relationship that I never. Because I'd just settle and I'd just ignore what I wanted for what I could get. And I think this is the power of sitting in the void. Being celibate, like not allowing yourself to outsource anything from anyone. your whole life is just dedicated to you, to getting to know you. And you fall madly in love with parts of yourself that you never knew. Like, you never took the time to get to know those parts of you because you was too busy soaking up the attention from them, which is just all like superficial. Let's have it right, it is. Like, they're just feeding your ego, being told that you're beautiful or you're pretty or you're good looking or your body's nice. Like, ugh. Yeah, what's your point? Like, that's literally how I feel when people say that. I'm like, where's the relevance in what you're saying? Like, I don't care. Like, it's so superficial. It's the least interesting thing about us is our appearance or the way that we look. Like, I don't see it as a compliment. But that's what celibacy taught me. That I didn't need all of that. I didn't need men to tell me that you're this or you're that. But before I went into celibacy, it felt nice. So then it was like, celibacy really brings you back to, what are you seeking outside of yourself? What do you need from you? And for me, it was just, I wanted to get to know myself. Like, I wanted to completely dedicate myself to myself. And when you feel into the divine feminine, who is she? Like, what's your version of her? When you feel into the divine feminine, she's not outsourcing. She doesn't need attention. She's not loud. She's not begging it. She's a receiver. She's self-devoted. She's self-focused. She knows who she is. She takes up space without even saying a word. And she's not easily accessed. And I'm going to call you out because I had to call myself out. I think that's where we go wrong. Like, how easy are you to access? Like, if a man came up to you in a bar and said, like, they find you attractive or whatever the chat up lines these days are, like, are you just easily accessed like that? Just from attention, just from validation? And again, don't judge yourself for it, but question it. Like, they're not even doing anything in order to, like, give them access to you in that way. I'm just gonna dive in something that just came up about dating apps. Like, I've never ever in my life, I have never been on a dating app. They've always given me the ick. Like, I do not like the thought, and this is not judgment. Like, if you're on dating apps and it works for you, amazing. But my thought process around it is like, the fact that somebody's swiping to say that you're good enough, but they're swiping for all the other girls, and then you're accessing my energy just from a picture of our look. It just doesn't, I just think it's a massive energetic leak. I don't feel that God's plan for me is that. It's the same with, like, spiritual communities. And this is the thing, like, any single girls out there, right? It's so easy. It would be so easy for any of us to just go and get into a relationship and just settle. It would. It's so easy. But it's about honouring yourself and owning what you want. And that's why you're single. It's not a negative thing. Like, look at these spiritual communities. Like, you can literally go, because it makes me laugh, like, all the spiritual girls who, like, are in all of this, which, again, no judgment, do what you want, honey, but, like, these spiritual communities where everyone's with everyone and, like, everyone, like, it's just mad. It actually is mad. But again, that's because your energy is so accessible. Like, I've never, ever been in a spiritual community or anywhere like that and had anyone like come on to me or just try and access me in that way without me having to decline anything. Energetically, they will know she's not available. So my energy just repels all of it. That's what celibacy has done for me. Honestly, because when I wasn't celibate, I did used to get like those leaky men. That's what I call them. I don't know what else to call them. It's just that leaky energy where you just feel it and it actually gives me the ick. Like whether I was in the gym, whether I could be like walking in the post office and a man would just come up to me and try and speak to me. Just different situations like that. That's never happened to me in 3 years. And I mean that. It hasn't. I don't get, like, I can go on my Insta now, I can put a bikini picture on, or like any picture at all, and I don't get like leaky men in the comments. I don't get men in me DM saying this and that, because my energy isn't available to it. We're not in alignment, it's a different frequency. Where before I was celibate, I was in alignment with it. And then what types of men was I calling in from that place? That's what you need to think about. Something else that I feel with celibacy, especially like if you're not celibate right now and you feel like you're attracting the same men in, because that's what I was doing even though my ex was spiritual. His patterns was the exact same as my ex before him. So I was still in this cycle with men. I was doing the work, like I actually was. I was on my healing journey before I met my ex. And I was doing the work. But I just feel, girls, celibacy takes you to a new level of work. It does. And you know what? It gives you a brand new standard. Like even your boundaries, again, how accessible you are, like just everything. It allows you to... Do you know what you're doing when you're celibate? You're protecting the little girl in you. And you're like, I'm going to set my standards so high for us that nobody's going to come in and hurt you. And I'm not going to just self-abandon. I'm not going to betray us. I'm not just going to settle for somebody because they're spiritual or they meditate or they treat us nice. Like, what are your standards? What are your morals? What are your values? Like, what are you actually seeking in a man? Like, and this is why it's so important. Like, I have conversations with God all the time. And I'm just like, don't bring me no leaky ass man in just because he's spiritual or he's done ayahuasca 9 times or he's this or he's that. Like, no, don't bring that in. And this is the thing. Celibacy is it's got to come with that level of surrender. Like, you've just got to surrender. And that's what divine union is about. It's the surrender, and that's what the feminine can do. She can just surrender to what's meant for her without that desperation. You don't need love, you don't need a man. You're whole and complete. But the reason why you don't feel it and you haven't been able to access it is because you've always got a man. You're always getting attention, you're always getting validation. Like, when's the last time that you didn't speak to a man? When's the last time that you didn't get your ego fed? How long have you gone without having sex? Because the way that I see it and the way that it's played out for me in the last 3 years has been like, as long as these masculines are feeding my masculine wounds, then I'm never going to be able to access those parts of myself because they're constantly getting fed. They need to be starved. And then I needed to listen to what I had to say. And for me, and I know this is going to land for so many of you, I seeked so much in a man making me feel good enough, in a man making me feel worthy, in a man making me feel chosen and loved and special, because I wasn't taking the time to be all of that and do all of that and give all of that to myself because I didn't need to. I was getting it from them and I could get it from anyone. Let's have it right. It's so easy. Like, get on a dating app. How easy is it to get your ego fed? Like, those wounds of self-worth and like comparing yourself to others and not feeling good enough, them wounds will just consistently get fed and fed and fed and fed because it's easy to get that. But when there's nobody feeding them and you have to sit with them, it's a different level of healing. Like, it is. I really, really recommend anyone listening to this, I really recommend that you go and try it. And it doesn't have to be 3 years. But go and experience it. Go and experience your solitude. Go and experience dating yourself. Go and experience meeting your own needs. And when that uncomfortableness comes up of needing the masculine's attention and the validation and all of the other things, really step back from it and go within and go to those deeper parts of yourself and listen to what she's saying. Listen to what she needs. Listen to what she wants. Like, take your power back. It's what it is. Like, take your power back. It's a knowing who you are. And then it's like not putting up with anything that you're not deserving of. And it's not from a place of like thinking you're better than anyone and putting yourself up here and like putting the masculine down. It isn't that, but it's just like, yeah, I just don't think like this is God's standard for me. That's how I see it. It's nothing against, like, when I feel into my relationship with my ex, I will never talk bad about him and make him out to be this or that. There's nothing bad about him. It's just, it wasn't in alignment with me. He wasn't what I want. He wasn't what I believe God has for me. That's the mindset that celibacy gave to me, because I really struggled with that relationship coming to an end, because he was my first relationship where a man really, really treated me so nice. Like, no raised voices, none of that toxicity where you're always fighting and screaming at each other and the house gets smashed up and all of that. Like, he was so calm for my nervous system. And he really was such a nice person with a good heart. Like, he actually was a really, really nice man. And I really held on to that. I really, really held on to, this is what I'm deserving of. Like, why is it left? And when I fell into that, I needed, like, it was a need. I need to go on a celibacy journey again. I need to step back from the masculine. That really allowed me to rewrite that story. I think it really allowed me to stop settling and know my worth. And to stay true to that, like, I don't think we stay true to ourselves. I don't think we fully own what we want and what we believe that we're deserving of. Like, the love that we are deserving of, do you believe to your core that, yeah, I deserve that love? Because when I was with Jordan, I didn't believe that. I wanted it. I knew what lover was calling in. But because of all my self-worth wounds and the way I'd outsourced me everything, outsource everything from the masculine, I didn't believe I was deserving of it, and that's why I ended up in that relationship. Being celibate and doing the inner work and just completely dedicating myself to me, I'm like, I know what I'm deserving of and I'm not going to settle. And that's why I'm 3 years into this journey, and this isn't about waiting. You're not waiting. The divine feminine, she doesn't wait. She receives in divine timing. So yeah, it's a feeling of, I know what God wants for me, has planned for me. I trust him. So I'm just out here living my life. And I'm loving every second of it. Look at my life. I have created so much peace. And I often think to myself, this is a part of my story that isn't going to happen again when God brings him in. I'm not going to get this level of solitude and isolation and dedication to self, because then when I'm in a relationship, you're in a partnership then, and that's another thing as well, relationships, that's how I feel about it. A relationship, what, we're just gonna Netflix and chill, we're just gonna go to the cinemas, we're just gonna post on Instagram. It bores me. I can't see myself just in a relationship. I want that best friend. That's my team. That is, you're literally partners. You're in it together. I want that. I don't just want a relationship with Jordan. It was just a relationship. We wasn't teammates. We wasn't best friends. That's what celibacy done for me. There's so much, girls, honestly, and I know what audience I'm talking to. I know it. It's I'm talking to my old self through you. It just gave me so much. It gave me so much clarity on what I actually want, what I want for my life. I know that I'm not here to go from relationship to relationship to relationship. I'm not here to sleep about. Sleeping with someone, oh my God, that's such a massive deal. Energy transfer is so real. And yeah, just all of it. Everything. I couldn't recommend it enough for part of your healing journey. And I believe that it will change so much for you. It will. It'll heal parts of you that you don't actually know need healing right now. You can't access those depths until you do. And the only way to do it is by allowing yourself to go there with you. Not seeking out there. There's nothing out there. There's not. It's you. All of it. So yeah, that's my journey with celibacy. That's why I recommend it. And if you feel called to go on this part of your journey, do it. This is your sign. This is the sign that you never knew you needed. Go celibate. And don't put a time limit on it. I haven't got a time limit on it. I thought it was going to be a year, because I'd done 2 years. Then I was like, right, I'm going to give myself a year now, celibate, not dating, not anything. And then it comes to a year, and then before I knew it was 2 years, and now it's 3 years, and it might be 5 years, it might be 6 years. But remember what I said, the feminine isn't waiting, she's just living a life. She's creating, she's building. She's not waiting around for a man, because you don't need anything from a man. Especially attention and likes and a man telling you in your DMs that you look good. You don't need that. That's just the girl. You're being asked to transition into the woman. You're already in transition. That's why you're watching this. So allow it. Be open to it. Dedicate your life to you. This next part of your journey, make it all about you. Be selfish. Everyone thinks it's selfish. It's not. Being self-devotional is not selfish. It's the most sacred thing that you can do. And remember your God standards.